Hey, yo, what's decent? Yo, I got a crazy battle that I want to showcase to you guys. I had this battle during PAX South. And speaking of PAX South, I ran into two total strangers that did something so nice to me on my way back home. I'm going to have details about that in the description. You guys can go ahead and check that out. But anyway, my opponent is going to lead out with Sableye. I'm going to lead out with my Machamp. I see the leftovers, which is a great ordeal for me because I initially thought that he was going to be a Mega Evolution. Hence why I actually went for the Ice Punch as opposed to go for the knockoff, because Ice Punch does a little bit more damage, assuming that he is a Mega Evolution, but he's not. So I'm able to knock off his leftovers, and because I'm faster, I'll be able to Bullet Punch it before he gets a chance to use Recover and knock out that Sableye. So he probably thought that I was the no guard set, hence why he Will-O-Wisp the first turn, and that is actually the advantage of running the Machamp over the Conkeldurr, because a lot of people are going to just assume that you're a no guard and want to burn that as opposed to, like, let's say Conkeldurr and or Hariyama. So now this turn, I stay in as he goes for the Protect. I'm just going to try to give him the notion that I just want Ice Punch, knowing for a while that the Earthquake will be able to knock me out. So I thought that he was going to want to switch out, hence my switch out into Rotom just to see what he will switch out into. But he uses Facade, Knockoff, and then Facade. So I decided to go for the Pain Split, and then afterwards I'm just going to go for the Hydro Pump. I'm actually surprised that he actually stayed in another turn and went for a secondary Facade. I mean, that's crazy in the face of a freaking Gliscor. Then he switches out into Volcarona on a Hydro Pump. So, it's kind of weird. But alright, I guess it's working out for him because the Hydro Pump actually missed up. And he is going to get off a free Quiver Dance. So I'm just going to switch out to my Magcargo, which happens to have the Rock Tomb and the Light Screen. So I'll be able to slow it down and resist all its hits, provided that it doesn't have the hidden power ground. So I go for the Rock Tomb, and it is a 2 KO here. What I'm going to decide to do is, because I want Magcargo to last a little bit longer, is I know he's going to want to attack right now, so I'm just going to go for the Light Screen. And after that, go for the Recover, and then afterwards on the following turn, go for the Rock Tomb again. So he's just going to go for the Bug Buzz. It is a 2-hit KO, barring the absence of a Light Screen, but I do happen to have the Light Screen, which means that I will be able to survive this Bug Buzz and just get off the Recover like I said I would. So that's great. I'm back in the green, and I am just going to go for the Rock Tomb, which is also an advantage because if he decides to switch out, now he'll be slower. Whatever comes in will be slower anyway, so that's it works either way, really. So I can just get off another little leftovers recovery and then have a Pokemon in here that is slower. So even if I take a hit, it's not even a big deal. So I'm going to switch out into Rotom, which is actually initially slower than the Gliscor, but because of the Rock Tomb, it would mean that my Rotom is now faster and now put him in a scenario in which he may want to switch out. So instead of go for the Hydro Pump hastily, like to see if he has like maybe a substitute or something like that, I can just go for the Will-O-Wisp, predicting him to switch out, but he doesn't switch out. He just goes for the Protect to replenish a little bit of HP, and then afterwards he's going to switch out. I'm just going to change my moves into Hydro Pump. As he goes out into Nidoking, predicting me to go for the Volt Switch, predicting to switch out, which is nice, but I went straight for the Hydro Pump anyway and knocked out his Nidoking. So that's great. Salamence comes in. And back at the Pokemon League over there at PAX, it's not too updated because I saw a lot of people using Greninja, I saw a lot of people using Mega Man, so you know, it didn't bother me at all. I mean, to each, I play, like I said, I play by everybody's rules. I'm not going to sit here and complain and everything like that. It is a Mega Man's. I am just going to burn it anyway. I'm going to test to see if he has Facade. I'm just going to switch out into Magcargo right now, as opposed to going for the Volt Switch, just to see what kind of set I'm dealing with here. And he shows me Return, which is great. So that means that I don't have to deal with any added attack power I potentially may have given it, thanks to the burn, if he happened to have the Facade like I did. So now I figured out he's going to have the Earthquake, hence my switch right out into Rotom, and now I'm just going to go for the Volt Switch, I believe, just to inflict some damage onto it, and then afterwards I can just go straight out into my Mamoswine, which now, at that particular amount of HP, the Ice Shard would actually be able to finish off. So I thought that he was going to probably want to switch out, but he shows me Double Edge, and it does a lot. So I figured just because he's going to want me to switch out, and because Volcarona is at a amount of HP where it could actually set up again, and or just come in and actually just kill off the Mamoswine, I thought that he was going to want to hard switch out into that and probably save his Salamence for a little bit later on to deal with like Magcargo and things like that, but that's not exactly the case. I'm just going to trick him a little bit and go for the Ice Shard. I had the notion that I was just going to act a little bit hastily as opposed to going for the Icicle Crash, because I knew that his Gliscor was a little bit faster. He could just go for the Earthquake, and with that knowledge, he thought that I would go out into Rotom, hence why he used the knockoff. So I'm just gonna go for the Icicle Crash anyway after I finish off his Volcarona and his Gliscor, and he's gonna show me Calm Mind, which is not even a big deal because I do have an Assault Vest Burnt Machamp waiting in the back wings. I'm just gonna switch into that right now, so that Mamoswine's attack damage output would do a little bit more too once I knock it off. A +2 attack coming from a Dusclops won't be able to knock out the Machamp. There's nothing that Dusclops can do to stop me from knocking off his Evalite, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that right now. And boom, do a whole bunch of damage too. So I knock it off. He shows me Shadow Ball, and Shadow Ball is not going to be able to KO my Machamp. And because I am faster, just in case he happens to have Shadow Sneak for some odd reason, I'm just going to go for the Bullet Punch, and Bullet Punch is going to be able to knock it out because I am Guts boosted. So that was a great game. I definitely did have a lot of fun. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like. If you guys want to see more content like this in the future, please subscribe to me. It's awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Peace. What you doing?